Aloha, I'm Mark Tolliver, and I am a life coach as well as a salon owner and a hairstylist. I've owned my salon for going on almost 5 years now. I've been in the salon industry for 38 years, and I've been in the coaching industry for going on 7 to 8 years now. And wow, I am coming to you today and I'm doing this quick video just to inform you that I'm going to be sharing my life coaching skills, and I'm going to be doing that as a gift to the community during the Corona 19 virus that has caused a lot of upset, a lot of fear, and some hope even. And what I'd like to do is be able to share that with you because just recently I live in Maui. That's why I started out with Aloha. And our mayor had just issued, not too long ago, a stay-at-home act. And I was able to keep my salon open until March 25th with all non-essential businesses to close even a week before that. For me, I was able to stay open with my salon because we're under the Health Act. And that's with the doctors, the hospitals. We're all about sanitation with salons and spas. So we were able to stay open just a few, maybe almost a week later. And then non-essential businesses under the Health Act had to close as well, and only essential businesses, which means the hospitals, doctors, even all the way to construction and all that. But we were considered non-essential, which I'm okay with, because if we need to close, we need to turn off the lights. It's only a temporary closure. I'll be back up hopefully by April 30th. And we can take it from there. But I figured that why not work on my life coaching? I'm always saying that I'm getting pulled in two different directions. Sometimes I feel so. I've been trying to be able to bring it to one. And I actually said trying, and I hate the word trying because it's only half-half. That's what I am doing. And actually, this is my home office and my home coaching office. So this is where I do all my calls from. So I figured, well, why not share my life coaching? A lot of people know me as a hairdresser, the people that do know me, as a hairdresser and a salon owner, but they really don't know much about the coaching, although I kind of put out there and spit it out here and there. I used to work with a coaching company for years, and now I'm out on my own, and I'm resurfacing after getting the salon on its way. It's time to get my coaching back. So this is what I'm doing, and part of it is also a gift. I really want to give a gift to the community during this time because being uh, going through those changes right now. I mean, the whole world is changing. Your state is changing. Your family is changing. Your neighborhood is changing. Everything around you is changing. That's a lot to take. And I figured if I'm going to be sitting here and just kind of looking at my four walls, I better start doing something. Create a routine. That's what I'd like to do for you. If you're having a hard time with being able to justify all this, dealing with all this, dealing with change, dealing with what's in the future, dealing with if you have frustration, and what is that all about and why? So this is what I'm doing. I'm not trying to sign you on to some later workshop. A lot of coaches do it, and that's just fine. For me, I just want to share. So this is actually a free workshop that we'll be doing until I can open my salon again, and until we get this what do you call it? Some people call it the plague. Some people call it the epidemic. So whatever you want to name it, which, by the way, I'll be talking about ego and what ego is all about and why we name things and have to identify things and how we relate to things and how it is not real, then all of a sudden it's real. And what's that all about and why? And also, I'll be talking about being hijacked. That is what as coaches call the flight, fright, and flee, where something is scary, like the scary monster or the bear in the woods. That's flight, fright, and flee, and how we react to it and why we react to it. What is the chemicals going off in our brain at that moment? Because our human emotions can actually create chemicals in the brain to react to. Cortisone is like when you're reacting to fright and flight. It charges the body, it electrics the body. Oxytocin, where it actually rushes up to the brain, the chemical releases. And when I lecture and I tell my students, that is when you see the rainbows and butterflies, or if you live on Maui, it's that Maui moment. Take a breath, hold it, release it. All of a sudden your body chills, it relaxes. And so does your mind. All that chatter that can be created by the ego that we'll talk about in my coming up classes, it creates no thought. So if you're getting kind of tense or you're kind of starting to pace around the house and going, oh my God, breathe, let it go. The body will relax. That's the one time where your mind's not going to think. There's going to be no chatter. I don't care if you do that 1,000 times during the day, as long as you're doing it, because we have to breathe anyway, right? And I tell people that sometimes you have to open a window, you have to open a door, get outside, breathe. We're still allowed to do that. Be on your lanai, be on your front porch. If you live in a high rise, stare out at the view. Breathe. Let it go. I don't care if you're even looking at a brick wall. Open that window if you can and just breathe. And if you can't, just be in that moment. That's one of the gold nuggets. I want to give many gold nuggets. What I'd like to do is do 2 type of videos, actually. One video is going to be live, because I believe that once we do live videos and you can tap into it, all of a sudden you don't feel alone. Something's happening at that moment and you're sharing and engaging, which I think is so important for us humans to be able to do that. That's our human compassion. We need to reach out. We want to feel and be comforted by somebody, or to learn, or to engage. And human beings like to engage. When we're told to disengage, it's really hard. So this is to engage and to bring you up. Like they say, when they go low, we go high, right? That's what we're doing. We're bringing ourselves up so we don't feel alone and we don't feel low. And it's okay to feel that, but it's nice to be aware of where that comes from and why, and what can we do with that? What can we do with those feelings at that moment, and understand those feelings, understand the circumstances behind it all. That's what I'd like to teach you and take you through. So one is like a formal coaching session like this, and I might even show a little PowerPoint or something. It's not going to be that fancy. I've got my iPad and I can just show you my PowerPoint on my iPad. The words might be backwards, but I'll explain it. And then the other is doing workshops, which would be live too. And the workshops would be the homework from what the classes that I'm giving. So you would be able to tap in and The workshops might be the breath work. Let's create that oxytocin. Let's get rid of all that cortisol that's flowing around in the system. That's giving the flight, fright, and flee, and learn to relax. A lot of it may be journaling, because I'm real into getting people's stories. And what is your story? Who are you? What's the reaction? Can we find something in that story that explains who you are? And stories change. So once you write that story, you may write another story. But those are called coaching exercises that I would do too, which would be other videos that would go along with it. And it doesn't matter if you tap in and you're tapping into different classes, or you're tapping into just the workout videos, which would be the breathing or the journaling, because it's all still going to make sense, because I still want to be able to have people be able to engage and get a gold nugget out of every video. The videos will most likely be about 20 minutes, because I love to ramble. It may be 15, it may be 10. So it just depends upon the subject and what it is. And I'll be posting them. I'll be posting them on Instagram, and I'll be posting them on Facebook, and I'll have them on both. And what I would love is just to give me a little heart down below, a little thumbs up, whatever. Let me know that people are engaging and they want to engage in this. And I'll be posting quite regularly, since I've got the time now, and I'll be sitting in my coaching office for the next 30 days at the house. And I just won't be taping here. If I can, it's nighttime, so there's no way I could tape on my lanai. Maybe you might be able to see a little ocean, a little sky when we do our exercises. I do have an outdoor lanai coaching office, believe it or not. And I've had a lot of requests to tape out there. The only problem is it's a little noisy, windy. I live right next to the ocean, so it might be a little loud, but we'll try and make that happen. Or I might have to be mic'd up or ear plugged up, I don't know. And we can figure that out. And I want you to take this journey with me if you're interested, because we're not alone. We're all into this together. Which brings me to triggers. Sometimes people can get triggered when they just hear something that's as sweet as, hey, we're not alone. Triggers are your reactions, the reactions that make your brain think. The cortisons that keeps on flowing through, and you get a little nervous height flight, and you're like, whoa, someone just said, stay healthy, be healthy, stay safe, which are beautiful words, but sometimes it can be a trigger. But if we can understand that, which is our human emotion, we are human. We're human beings. There's the being, which is the lightness in us. People that live on Maui call it a Maui moment, where everything is beautiful and there's no thought and everything's just gorgeous and you're just taking in what's happening. And then there's the human side, the thinker, the ego, which I'll be talking about in one of my classes, attaches to. And it can do fright flight. It can do an emotion. It can make you cry. There's so many different ways that this can be explained, which I'll explain to you in the classes coming up. I've actually laid out the classes pretty well, and they're the classes that I teach my students. And there's also a couple of PowerPoints that I'll try on my iPad, see if it'll come through, because I'm sure the words are going to be backwards, and I'll explain them all out. So might be some technical thing. I'm not the best technical person, but we'll make it through, and we'll make it through this. And when we can have a better understanding, I'm actually writing a book that's called The Future Isn't What It Was Supposed to Be. And this book is all about we didn't know this was going to happen. We didn't know we would have to hunker down for a few months or a month or 2 weeks or 14 days or be quarantined or have to hang out for 7 days just because you just landed somewhere. This is our new reality, right? And a lot of people do not like change. A lot of people will embrace change and make it happen. But a lot of people go into their fear. They go into their hijack, which is like the scary bear in the woods, which is like the virus, the epidemic, which triggers us, the scary monster. So this is what I would like to be able to do, is teach you how to be able to deal with that when those things come up. Okay, I feel like I'm going to start my ramble, so I'm on about 15 minutes. So once again, I'll be posting. Look for my posts on Facebook and on Instagram. And please let me know down below if you're interested in taking this class. Also, at the very bottom of this is also, you can also direct mail me. You can email me. And my email is down at the bottom as well. Okay. Once again, thank you so much and for listening and for tapping in. And this will be one of the posts. And then, of course, if you don't make my live videos, I know Facebook will post it as a post. I'm not so sure about Instagram. I can't figure that out yet, but I will. Okay, so with Aloha from Maui, hopefully I'll see you on my first video. Hopefully will start this Friday. Maui time, 12 o'clock. Okay. With Aloha. Talk to you soon. Be well. And of course, stay healthy.